Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. You guys, we are coming down to the last pages of this lawsuit. Make sure you thumbs up this video, share this video, like this video, and become a channel member. Again, this is chapter 14, and we should be able to wrap this up in this chapter. Let's begin now. UMG published the allegations, including biased publication of the misleading image and other conduct described herein, in a manner to create false inferences. UMG had financial motives for promoting the defamatory material. UMG endorsed and adopted the false allegations as its own, publishing and republishing, or causing to publish and republish the false allegations for months, with full knowledge of their falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. UMG had no applicable privilege or legal authorization to make these false and defamatory statements. UMG published these statements so that they were heard, viewed, or read billions of times around the world. UMG statements damaged Drake's reputation in the general public, in his profession, in his personal life, in his neighborhood, and with friends, relatives, and neighbors. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's conduct, Drake has suffered significant general, actual, consequential, and special damages, including, without limitation, impairment of his reputation and standing in the community and in his profession, personal humiliation, mental anguish and suffering, emotional distress, stress, anxiety, lost earnings, and other pecuniary loss. UMG was aware of the ongoing harm Drake was experiencing, including because of news reports of the armed attack on his Toronto residence and Drake's private communications with UMG. Next chapter, second claim, harassment in the second degree. Plaintiff incorporates and re-alleges all proceedings paragraphs as if fully set forth herein. UMG engaged in a course of conduct and repeatedly committed acts which alarm and seriously annoy plaintiff. UMG published, promoted, and profited from a coordinated campaign to smear, threaten, and discredit plaintiff despite plaintiff's protests. Further, UMG has placed plaintiff in reasonable fear of physical harm. UMG published explicit threats and calls for pawing against Drake. The defamatory material, individually and collectively, provide a call to put paws against plaintiff. UMG has continued a course of conduct to promote these publications online and on radio airwaves and through public events and further licensing of the recordings. UMG has done so despite being a major business partner of Drake, having knowledge of physical acts and threats against Drake's home, and being aware of Drake's public and private denials of the statement. UMG's course of conduct in publishing specific, unequivocal threats of what's going on has placed plaintiff in a reasonable fear of physical harm. Plaintiff's security guard was taken to the hospital with serious injuries after a specific pow-pow incident. While his initial motive was financial, UMG lost any legitimate purpose to continue its course of conduct in the face of Drake's public and private denials. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, Drake has suffered significant general, actual, consequential, and special damages, including, without limitation, mental anguish and suffering, emotional distress, stress, anxiety, and costs related to his increased security. Next section, third claim, violation of the New York General Business Law 349. Plaintiff incorporates and re-alleges all proceedings paragraphs as if fully set forth herein. Plaintiff is a person within the meaning of New York General Business Law 349. Defendant is a person, firm, corporation, or association with the meaning of New York General Business Law 349. Defendant engaged in deceptive acts and practices in the conduct of business, trade, and commerce by covertly financing, incentivizing third parties to play, stream, and promote the recording, and then by making material, false, misleading representations of the recording's popularity to consumers. UMG paid at least one party to use bots to stream the recording on Spotify. UMG then touted the recording's number of streams on Spotify, while knowing that at least 30 million of those streams were false and fraudulent. UMG also paid at least one radio promoter to engage in pay-for-play of the recording in New York radio stations. UMG then marketed the recording as chart topic, despite knowing that it had paid third parties, including radio stations, to play and promote the recording. A reasonable consumer of music would be materially misled by these deceptive acts and practices. These deceptive acts and practices were consumer-orientated because they were directed and disseminated to general music-consuming public and marketplace, and had a broad impact on music consumers at large. These alleged deceptive acts and practices, at least in part in the state of New York. Plaintiff was injured as a direct and proximate result of defendant's deceptive acts and practices on streaming platforms, because each time the recording was artificially streamed, Drake's songs received a disproportionate share from the pool of royalties collected based on streaming data. Plaintiff was separately injured as a direct proximate result of defendant's deceptive acts and practices in the radio industry, because every time the recording was played, Drake lost the opportunity for one of his songs to be played. By reason of the foregoing, UMG's conduct as alleged herein constitutes deceptive acts and practices in violation of Section 349 of the New York General Business Law, and UMG is liable to plaintiff for damages that he has suffered as a result of defendant's actions. The amount of such damages to be determined at trial, plus treble damages and attorney fees and costs. Plaintiff further demands injunctive relief enjoining defendant from continuing to engage in use or employ any act, including false statements of the recording's success or other representations prohibited by Section 349 of the New York General Business Law. Next section, prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiff prays for judgment against UMG for each of the causes of action raised herein. Plaintiff respectfully requests a judge in his favor against UMG for nominal damages. Compensatory damages include general, actual, consequential, and special. Any amount to be determined at trial. Punitive, reasonable and necessary attorney fees, reasonable and necessary costs of the suit, prejudgment and post-judgment interest at the highest lawful rate, declaratory relief stating that the statements published and promoted by UMG and those attributable to UMG is reasonable and foreseeable. Republications identified within the complaint, individually and collectively, were and are false. Injunctive relief, enjoining UMG from making statements about the popularity of the recording, image, or video that it known to be false based on fake streams or pay for play, and such other and further relief as this court deems just and appropriate. Respectfully submitted by Michael J. Gottlieb. January 15th of 2025. And this is their address, telephone number, email. You're welcome to screenshot. that is the end of the reading of the Drake lawsuit. Thank you guys for reading with me. This has been 14 chapters. If you did not catch all of them, please go back and listen to them all. I will definitely be following this case in full. As any other developments break out, I will come back and make a video with anything major pertaining to this case. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Donate if you can. And until next time, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye, guys.